Dane County cast more ballots in the race for the Supreme Court than the largest county in the state, Milwaukee County. And in Dane County, 82% of those votes went for the radical. And so unless we turn young people around, and it's not as simple as one campaign ad or some sort of a coalition, this is years of liberal indoctrination coming home to roost, and we've got to turn it around if we're going to win again.
What do you attribute it, Brian? I know you say the doctrinization of the left wing, but is it teachers' unions? Is it the abortion issue? What are you pointing to?
Well, it's all the above, and I can't blame a lot of this generation because all they've heard are radical ideas on climate change, on defunding the police, on abortion, on all these sorts of other issues, and so they've never heard the opposing viewpoint. And so if that's all they hear in college and high school, on social media and culture, you can see why they've gone so lockstep in that regard. But we've got to start long before an election. And that's why we're doing the work we're doing at Young America's Foundation. We've got to get into the classroom, get into the college campus, and make a difference.
Former Wisconsin governor there, Scott Walker, is realizing that the youth vote is kicking their ass, considering that they lost that Supreme Court seat there up in Wisconsin. And also they mentioned the Chicago mayoral race with Brandon Johnson winning. And he's like, he recognizes it might be time to panic for Republicans and maybe change course. That change of course, for some reason, includes insulting those same voters that just kicked your ass around because they realize that you openly hate them. Let's see how he got to the point of talking about that, because that's not all he said. Watch.
Is it? We said this before in the intro. Is this a five-alarm fire for the Republicans?
Yeah, absolutely. And it is on more than just the issue, or more than just one issue. To me, the larger issue here, we've seen it particularly in Wisconsin, but across the country, is younger voters. In Wisconsin last fall, we saw about a 40-point margin that younger voters gave to the Democrats running for Senate and governor. We saw similar margins in Pennsylvania. We don't yet know the numbers by age, but we do know that Dane County, which is where the University of Wisconsin's flagship campus is at, about 50,000 students are enrolled there. Dane County cast more ballots in the race for the Supreme Court than the largest county in the state, Milwaukee County. And in Dane County, 82% of those votes went for the radical.
So Sharon, imagine this. You're a 24, let's say you're fresh out of college, 22 to 24 years old, and you're voting because you care about these things that directly affect your life, and you're realizing, yo, the folks that represent me are actually attacking me. And then in response, those same folks go, you know what we're tired of? We need to do something about this youth vote and how they're indoctrinated by going to school. What is it they want them to do?
Get unwoke. Okay, stop being woke. And no, they asked about this, five-alarm fire is really, really bad. They don't realize it, and they're not going to realize it because they don't respect these young people. It's like, remember the Chevy Chase movie Vacation? Was it Uncle Lewis's, and the toupee and the Christmas tree burned down? And they were really oblivious to it, JR, because, that wasn't in their purview, so to speak. So it really is sick to me, and it's not just Wisconsin. When these people go out and lecture young people who happen to have done their homework, their research, they know what's going on, and they say stupid things to them like, which gun do you want to get shot with? It's 100%. Ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
And, if your answer to folks that are beating you at the polls is you guys are indoctrinated, and therefore, he did say this, we need to get in these classes and talk to these children and indoctrinate them in our ways. That's what he thinks is the approach. I would like to submit this piece of evidence. Maybe this is the reasons why that you're losing, specifically that Supreme Court seat up there in Wisconsin. This is the way the Judge Protasewicz was approaching this election. Watch.
Judge Janet Protasewicz. She'll protect our rights and our freedoms. She'll be fair, impartial, and independent. Judge Janet Protasewicz believes in women's freedom to make their own decisions when it comes to abortion.
I'm Judge Janet Protasewicz.
Young people really felt the power of their vote, and they voted. She campaigned both on abortion rights and on democracy. And I think the combination of these issues not only motivates young people, but motivates all those independent and suburban women voters who are completely turned off by the Republican. It is a very powerful and motivating electorate out there.
They can't see that part. All they see is they're indoctrinated. maybe they're thinking, and you guys aren't used to talking to voters who think. There's another race that they talked about. It was up in Chicago, as I mentioned. Brandon Johnson won. This is what he said at his victory speech, and it was poignant because nobody says this. That's why he won. Watch.
Investing in people is at the heart of this campaign because I've seen what disinvestment looks like. I know what I'm talking about when people rely upon public transportation, and because it is not reliable, people have lost their jobs because of an unreliable, unsafe transportation system. So when I talk about investing in people, I know what I'm talking about. For too many people in the city of Chicago, we recognize value, but for too many of us, we don't believe that we deserve it. That changes under a Johnson administration.
Mayor-elect Johnson says enough people don't believe that they deserve what we keep selling in America. And Scott Walker over here says, you know what, these folks are a little bit too mouthy, they're indoctrinated, and they expect something. Who do you think they're going to vote for, Sharon?
Yeah, it's not. Listen, if this keeps going, this trend keeps going, it's going to be beautiful. There won't be anyone left in Congress, in any governor's mansion, who's under the age of, well, they probably will be able to have a toast, okay? But that they'll be barely legal. And it might be a good thing for our country because so many of these people can't be bought and they're mouthy. And as I said, they've done their homework. Some of these Republicans out here, these really more than conservative people, are treating it like the Southern Daughters of the Confederacy did, okay? It took them decades. Piece by piece, they rewrote Civil War history. But now we have the internet and people have cars and things and they talk and they can do things. And it's just not going to be the same.
Hopefully not. But we've always seen is anytime progress happens in the country, of course, folks are pushing back from the side going, no, we need to go backwards. And it's never really happened. No matter how hard the struggle ends up being, we always progress. So as your voters die off, the ones that will never switch, the new ones are here.